Grand evening, everyone. It's Shay Seeking or Shalonda, and yeah, I don't know. It feels like I've been missing. It feels like I've been missing in action for the past 2 days at least. Like, you ever had that feeling like you're there, but you're not? Your head space is all in another dimension. It's like I don't know, dealing with different tactics, um, and different uh, arrows that are being, sent your way. Some dipped in poison. So again, it's like one something in the morning. I'm just sitting here, and excuse me, because I don't know. I feel like, yeah, my nose is just a little irritated. I did spend a lot of time. Again, I don't know. I just feel like I miss y'all a little bit, but I feel like I'm, I feel like I'm like on a short leash right now, right? But I don't know. I want to express some things, and we have this love and war image here because again, in this parallel universe, this is exactly what's going on. So although the body may be present, sometimes the mind is elsewhere. And I'm just realizing that like that's just a reality, at this point for now anyways. And you know, I woke up this morning feeling wonderful, splendid actually, kind of nostalgic. And then it's just like how it feels. Okay, we're just using these as examples, right? Again, all of this is for so-called entertainment purposes only, but we know what it is. So it's almost like Zazu coming to the king to tell him what's going on, you know, in the kingdom, right? And in no way, shape, or form am I saying anybody is Zazu, but I just look at Zazu as like the news person. So not even that it's a bird, not even that anything, just in general. Like I feel like at some point in the day, like I was slowing down from again. I was doing more meditation and prayer for the past couple. I mean, or ooh, I didn't say that. In communing, right, with Source, trying to tap back in with the ancestors because again, I feel like lately, you know, um, I've been dealing with so much stuff in the spiritual realm, like away from myself when it comes to ancestors, as opposed to I feel like again some that are close when I'm some dealing with that energy or whatever, right? So maybe in my eyes I look at it as maybe it's just the energy of the ancestors that may not be so close to you, right? Um, so again, like just on the spiritual journey alone, I don't know, I hit like a plateau or something today. Um, Lots of walks in the park. Well, going to the park again lately, even though I've been traumatized by the circumstances of my trees and my hiding spaces that I used to go and hide in the park. Um, yeah, I don't know. I just like I said, when it comes to the let's see, I'm just gonna call it like a uh, extended family, like that celestial, that other dimensional family. I felt for a second, I don't know, a closeness or something in a strange way, like a recognition or like a little bit of like respect, as in drawing, uh, putting up borders, right? Putting up, you know, some type of barrier of protection against like what seemed to be abusive energy, right? Dealing with emotions and oppression and things like that, right? As above, so below. Again, within and out. So again, but there was a sense, like I said, of a split, and for some reason today, it was. I felt like Humpty Dumpty had been put back together again because again, that's what I was feeling like, a Humpty Dumpty. Now I know that there's a situation where there's something going on. It's bigger than me. It's bigger than all of us. Some of us are tied to it, which feel sometimes like I can't even believe this, right? But in a sense, you know, um, everybody has it their. People do it their way, but one of them cards I pulled today was go against the grain. You know, um, one second. Okay, so again, woke up in that nostalgic. I hadn't been there for a while. I went back in on some information. Something told me to tap back into the spring, right? The book. And something told me to tap into a couple of other things. I think there was like a vampire diary, um, and the biblical text and the thought of Esther and Elijah, Eliah or Elihu, or and Elisha or Elisha, um, and from that religious aspect. And I'm just compelled, like, I can feel, and it's so funny because again, when I tap into that energy, people call it channeling. I just say that this is just the energy that I'm in or whatever. Um, it, there's lots to say, but we won't, right? Because again, we also know some of these stories again have to do with love, right? So again, that's where that love aspect comes in. But then love at sometimes can be distracting, right? Because then there's also this war energy. And again, I watched like it's so hard, but it's not. I watch like clips or whatever, and I'm just saying, like, there's no reason why I'd be getting like these urgent download feelings or whatnot. Even like warnings or, you know, energies of like a blackmail kind of energy, even like a bullying, it's just like an oppressive, we'll just say it's an oppressive energy that just wanted to come in and just ruin the fact that I felt very put back together and very well. And again, I can only do my story the way that I'm doing my story. Um, I know that there is probably a way that everybody wants me to do things, but I can only do them the way that I do them. And I'm just saying when it comes to the ancestors, angels, guides, source, and those God hurting forces. Um, so it's just like I'm kind of like all over the place with this, but I'm hoping it's gonna make some sense. So again, it's like a love bombing energy that came in, but at the same time, there's a sense of this war. And I was watching a couple of clips or whatever on the news about this whole thing with Afghanistan, and then I was just wondering, like, it's been so long. Like, why are we like? There's so many things that we could be talking about right now. Why are we overwhelmingly talking about this situation? And then it just made me look and say, hey, I mean, let's just say symbolically and allegorically, it just seems like there is something else woven there. If we read between the lines or the headlines. And so I wanted to go ahead and do something by looking at a couple of these terms that have been thrown around lately. Now we've already did, I think, like Afghanistan and all those things like that in etymology. But I want to say that oppression, right? Um, is one of the main ones that I want to look at tonight. And I think cabal and um, things like that. Or Kabul. But again, let's talk about the loving part of this. The loving part is, you know, it was like a sense of that overwhelming, um, genuine, special kind of love, but almost like there was already like an energy that, again, came in with that whole confusing energy when it comes to waking up knowing what I'm feeling, knowing what I sense in uh, that light, right? When dealing with other individuals of light in other dimensions. I don't know if y'all even get what I'm saying. I just woke up this morning feeling just this. It was overwhelming. It was just a very joyous, feeling. Like I had to sit there and ask myself if this is it. Really. Like really. I think even the album cover of This Is It kind of flashed through my mind today. And so again, we're looking at some of the clips about Afghanistan. And again, I figured some things that were very far-fetched, but again, we're not going to get all the way into that in this video. I also noticed the shape of it, the shape of the map that they were putting up about Afghan or whatever. And it looked a lot like Wisconsin to me. Like straight up. I even asked people around the house what did they think, and they actually said it too. I mean, not saying anything about the geographical layout or anything, but just the shape. The shape. I mean, because we're talking about signs, symbols, shapes, logos. We're talking about, you see, right? And again, Wisconsin being in the north reminds me of the sun of the north. But it also has an energy of, again, what's going on north of the north or south of the north, that in the Americas, which we need to be worried about because there's millions of people coming in here undocumented. So again, what is that? Like I was also a news clip with a map about the heat wave that was going on and how it was a distinct line marker between the north and the south, the same way it was during whichever war that started in Summers or Sumter. I can't remember right now. Okay. It's almost felt like the same thing. And I wonder sometimes, what does it all mean? Like, what does it all mean? My mind space is like, it's all over the place with this. So again, we pulled a couple of cards because, this morning I was ready to, and I'm gonna tell you one more thing about love before we even start on the definition. And this is for those who have been following this dimensional story and plot here, because a lot of things have been correlating in visions, and I've just been there. I've just been in that space. When it comes to the book, The Spring, a lot of instances that are, again, it's almost like running the storyline, running real time with your life. And as you look throughout the day and you look back and you start to see, you'll see, how many markers or things are happening. that are in those plots and those storylines. It may not all be in the same paragraph, but again, you can see the compiling things like, damn, that was, we were there today. You know what I'm saying? And I wanted to stay in that space. And again, so I had a little picnic in the park and things like that. And I just was trying to take myself there. But also, there was an energy again that wanted me to make a decision. And it was kind of like a right or left, right? East or west. Kind of like, do you want to go high or low? You know, um, almost like a push to do something, a push to move or get moving. Um, but then also a pull, something that was like a pull to stay and be grounded. And so again, some energy of, and I feel like both the good and the bad, the black and the white, were here today with me. Like that, I just went back and forth between that energy. But more swords toward the day, it was the lighter, happier type of feeling. And then again, now towards the night, is the dark, kind of grim. What's the outcome of the day? You know what I'm saying? Uh, when it comes to casualties and things that have been taken over, or in an oppressive manner, right? When it comes to spiritual, and then in this realm. So again, it still drew me back to, again, setting up borders and trying to protect yourself, but not trying to, close yourself off all the way when it comes to, again, connecting with people. I think that was a thing that was on me today. I was put in a situation where I had to choose, and I chose myself at the end of the day, um, only because of the unsurety and all of the stuff that has been thrown around. And it made me think about the chaos in the beginning of Genesis. And I often wondered, is that chaos something that was brought on by again, I look at that as the feminine energy of a god or goddess. When we're talking about the earth was first a dark, chaotic mass, I feel like that mass was brought on, like I said the other day, by the effects of certain entities and certain energies that have been on this plane for a very long time, poking the bear, trying to rile the lion, right? When it comes to the earth, right? And again, so I can't help all the time when I think about these things, when we're getting one perception of something, that because when you look on mainstream media, they'll be sure to keep showing you these images of these guys with their cultural attire, and they're carrying weapons, and it looks very dangerous, and it looks like they're in the desert and things like this, when in all reality, what's running down my mind when we're seeing those images are the millions of people that are coming across the border, and what they might have with them, or what they might have access to once they get here, in order to then go around and somewhat terrorize, only because, right? Only because they've been given a free pass to roam, and the cultures of those individuals and the American people are somewhat different, even if some of them were indigenous or what. It's just such a different demographic, that there is going to be some kind of strife and some kind of mischief and some kind of stuff that comes with this, because again, if these people are not being monitored, they're not being vetted, they're not being properly cared for, maybe even, I wouldn't, I'm not going to say vaccinated, but again, I'm saying if it were to look like protocol, right? It would just seem that there would be some kind of care or treatment or holding time, possibly, since this is so deadly now. So you would think that they would be held or whatever for a month or a couple weeks, like they were trying to do us when this thing first started, right? So again, we are all over the place tonight, but I'm gonna go ahead and share some of these cards that I ended up pulling today, because between that energy of feeling loved by myself. Also, almost like a feeling of angel wings wrapped around me, you know, just going back and just doing some of that work and tapping into some things as to what is really going on here. Why are we going in these particular directions? Why are you sensing these things this way? Right? And so we'll look at some of these. Well, I'm not going to show them to you. And it's sad because I think these are my favorite cards, y'all. And we can't, I don't even have the box here. The ones I used in the last video. I think it's just these are just like really taking me there. Okay. So again, oh, I'm mad I can't show these cards to y'all. I'm so mad. Hold on. Hold on. I am going to show them. Oh no, I'm not. I'm not. Okay? Because that would be too much work. Right? So again, let's look at we'll look at the term here. Okay? Watch this be one of them videos I don't even. Okay. Yeah, I think it's best we do it this way. Okay. We'll do it this way. So again, and like there's no rhyme or reason to this video or anything. It's just like a daily kind of like diary vlog or whatever. Again, just to get things straight for anybody that cares and that I know that again people are sometimes wondering, right? And again, I feel like today there's also something physical that I was supposed to move towards. And it just, like I said, I just cannot stand any type of confusion or chaos. And then I'm thinking like the author of chaos, like it's not really chaotic, but then again, it does push me and urge me to step out of my comfort zone. But again, it's just like a whole thing of which way, you see? It's almost like Alice in Wonderland picking which road she was going to go down in the Cheshire. The Cheshire Cat was just like sitting there smiling and just like, yeah, okay, yeah, just pick. And so it was that energy right there. I think that was what it was today. But I guess, there's a method to the madness and a reason for everything. My deep rooted core thought, even when at an instance when I was at that fork in the road, okay, in the spiritual realm, and had to choose. There was this, there's always tomorrow. But then again, there was also this energy of this is it. You see? This is it. But when we're talking about this whole thing with borders, the cabal, the capital, and everything, you guys know what we've been talking about on this channel. I found it very funny that they were using somebody used the term oppress or oppression in one of the news articles when they were talking about this. And so I was just going to go ahead and look at this. And although I feel like financially there's still an oppressive energy there, but mentally it was a very calming and soothing day. More not stagnant, more I actually was on the move a little bit, but again stagnant when it comes to the mind. And I feel like it was help from an angel, being touched by an angel. In a sense of however you want to look at it, that brought me to an ease. But almost as if there is a shift or even a ship that is going to be sailing by, which also led me to feel torn in the heart again. But at least I could sense it beating again. In a sense where I was trying to block or numb something. And I think dealing with source helped me to tear down a little bit of that. There's scar tissue there, but I don't know. If I can see like an icy or a cold heart, it you know, it's kind of like in half, where it's mm, yeah, I can't explain it. I can't explain it. But let's just do this term. So again, oppression. Cruel or unjust use of power or authority. Because I found it very funny that on one of those news clips, I can't remember, I think maybe they were talking to the people at the Pentagon, someone there, and he asked them, is there another reason why they were going in to deal with this Afghan situation? And he kind of insinuated as if they had heard it might be some ulterior motives. And the guy that was giving the interview kind of got offended and kind of said something kind of snippy. And he said, no, well, I'm just asking if there's anything, you know. And then he actually, and I'm just going to use he and stuff like this because, again, I don't want to be getting myself in no troubles. You probably seen the clip, okay? But I noticed one thing because I was already picking up on the energy, like, pay attention. And when I seen him put his head down, and he couldn't even look at the camera and answer the question, I said, that's the first time I ever seen anybody in a military uniform put their head down like that and answer that question with shame. Look, this man, I'm not going to even say the name, I don't even remember what his name was, looked so, it was like a guilty energy, dude. It was just an energy of, so, I don't know. It was just but it was just, I had never seen that before in a military uniform with their head down like that. Because again, some of us can sense and see. And this is why we are being oppressed. And this is why they don't want us speaking. Energies in reading really good. Like you don't have to go to school, right? For these psychiatrists and all that stuff. You can read people's energy. Some people, anyways, off jump. And especially if I feel like there is a threat or if I feel like there is a connection between, I think that people know that I know that we can. Do you see what I'm saying? Okay. Just so we don't go too deep with that. It's almost straight like a string or something, a little thin line right between the screen and yourself. I felt yesterday, I think it was Tucker Carlson in the evening. I, I found his report very interesting. Yesterday would have been the what? 14th. So it might have been his nightly show from that night or the night before. I can't remember. I'm just showing you guys how some of the tools I use and how I see. So again, and we're talking about an energy of a god and a goddess or a divine masculine and feminine. And there's some confusion and chaos there. And the world is chaotic. And she has energy coming in all of these different dimensions with her. And he has the same thing. And they're all surrounded by all these different individuals, not with themselves. They're not connected. And even when it seems like there's a closeness to a connection, mental or otherwise. And it seems like it's going so good. And then it just seems like everything else in the world starts getting in the way and it's like an earthquake. And I know I did hear something about an earthquake, 10 point something magnitude today. And I thought it was very strange that it was in IAT. It wasn't a shock, but and it's just like, is there a, there's just the whole energy about these pyramids. And then the Al Green record kept popping up, I think, with the pyramid, him, like his body was a pyramid. Excuse me. And then again, the whole thing about if thine eye be ill or something like that, then pluck it out, right? So again, that made me think, like, is there something to that with the body, right? And they're worried about something spreading, right? But if we are connected in a sense, right, through that eye, thine eye be single. Even though that there's not a physical collective or legal collective or a tribe, right? Something, a type of energy or something that we're sharing is spreading. Our hope is love. But again, your love for yourself and others in the truth could potentially be words of war for those people in certain places. So, oppression, cruel or unjust use of power or authority, oppressing down, violence, oppression, noun of action from past participle, stem, press against, to press together, to press down. See, because that I on the top of that bill represents possibly that one, again, that's there now or was there, and there's supposed to be a new one but being put in place. But again, because of oppression, is it going to be possible, or are they going to take another idol that is that I and put it there? When in my case, I feel that I am that I am. So again, while I'm excuse me, over here being wooed or woed, I can't help but think also what's going on, because it's almost like, again, I wasn't there today. I was really going within. I'm talking about when it comes to this outside realm. I really had to go within today and find something. Things from the past. I really had to go there today. To crush, to put down, to subdue, to persecute or prosecute. Relentlessly. To rape. So again, I think one of the newscasters said I wouldn't use that term rape the one day in that clip. And what do we have here? Against, to press, hold fast, cover, crowd, compress, to strike, action of weighing on someone's mind or spirit, is from late 14th century. Sense of whatever oppresses or causes hardship is from late 14th century. In Middle English, also rape. I'm just wondering, do any of y'all have that feeling of anything, especially black sheep in the family or the ones that are elect? That there's been things that have been said about you and taken from you and things like this. It's an instance of feeling like somebody wants to cut off the cornerstone. Or truncate your pyramid. Or even make it so you can't even build one. Or difficulties. Let's use those terms this time. Because a lot of people think that it's called you're self victimizing, which is something I can't stand. When you talk about the real deal of what's going on, and how some of us don't get the luxury of not having to think about war. Sometimes we wish, or warfare, or again, love and war, trying to obtain and run a kingdom that, again, in a spiritual sense, right? When it seems like everybody is also 10 steps ahead and have been given, again, the guidebook. And you have to feel and sense your way through every single piece and part of it. Like sometimes I feel like it's like a lab, like a lab rat, and it's like some kind of experiment or something going on, to be honest with you. Which may be possible because of the position that, again, some of the people are in. And some people may be choosing to take that role with the majority of the people. Because they feel it's the right thing to do or the only thing to do. The act of subjugating by cruelty. And that's the thing. Throwing things or doing things in hiding hands. By large groups now can do these things. Powerful groups. You know what? I noticed a lot of spraying today. And I've been out a lot today. I wonder if that's what this is all about. This stuffy nose. So again, oppression, the state of being kept down or by unjust use or force of authority. After years of oppression, they finally revolted. A feeling of being oppressed. So again, when someone does then combat or try to protect themselves by speaking out, it's considered to be some kind of revoltish kind of energy, or it's even considered to be, you know, a threat. See? And again, is getting too deep. It's getting too deep. So again, related entries are per, which is talking about forward. Uh, let's see, and by an extension, which made me think about that extension that they just did on that one bill for housing, I believe. In front of, before, first, chief, toward, near, against, and again alongside, beyond, altered, contrary, irregular, abnormal. So again, this is another way I'm thinking about idolatry. I really am. Or just even again, because of some force or something being put forth to do something that's probably not the best thing for you to actually do, by bending things or twisting things or making things more difficult to see which way or which direction, you know what I'm saying? It's the throw off in order, again, for certain individuals to get in certain places. So while you're over here always having to fight for everything that's already yours, they're getting ready and dressing up the pig. I mean, I'm not gonna say that word. I didn't mean it like that. They're dressing up the being or individual that is going to be. They're prepping that and painting that individual to fit into that position. It's like, hey, well, if it's not the whole world in certain energies or a certain God against you or me, then why is everything have to be this way? And then when something is astray, why do we have to spend so much time trying to deliberate and figure out what this particular source at that particular time is trying to relay to you? And the enemy is already got closer and closer to the finish line. It makes no sense. It's very bothersome. And that's why the whole world is bothered, because that is what's going on with the earth. One of the reasons. It's just what I know. I would say look up the term earthquake if you don't want to. I mean, if you like, again, to see mine, I know I've done something on earthquakes, what it means in the biblical sense, or what it means in etymology. And it makes a lot more sense that way. So again, are we talking a revolt, or are we talking about a earthquake? Perception is everything. So again, before all of these things, you can look at these on your own. Roar, enough. Okay. So anyways, I hope this, what I'm doing right here is almost like a crossword puzzle in a sense. It's just like to see if we're grasping anything here. From anything that, again, we've been sharing on this channel, and anything that you've noticed on your own. Excuse me. Because kingdoms are being built here, rather, or maybe not even, we don't have to even look at it as here. Things are being done. Whether it's in a spiritual sense or whatever. It can all be all good. Stop pressing. And then even then iron it out. I don't get why everything, has to go all like left every time. But I felt like, I hope somebody gets something from this, because I felt like at the end of the day, it was like I was throwing my arrows down. I feel like, I told you guys, I feel like it was something physical I was supposed to do today, whether it's like a spiritual cleanse. I feel like it was something I was supposed to do today, or I was supposed to be prepared to do today. And I may have even done it without even realizing it. Again, there was that energy, like I said, of going towards something. Right? But I didn't figure out what it was. I didn't have that aha moment until everything had already been done and sealed to a certain extent. So I don't know. And I feel like that's that whole energy that's been around me lately is I figure things out, right? But it's just at a time when it's like figuring something out at the right time. I mean at the wrong time, right? It's like that lagging energy, like I'm saying, as if something is trying to keep me some steps back, still on the path, but some steps back with that oppressive energy to allow, again, something else to happen. And it's almost like whatever is going to be happening now, it's already been set up. So it's just like, you would look and just say, forget it, I'm done. I ain't even trying no more. You know what I say? That kind of energy. Forget it, man. Everybody and everything just don't want me to have it. So, but then I said, oh no. See, but that ain't even really in your energy or your spirit. So just, you know what I'm saying? Even if it's just you speaking, Source said. Even if it's just you speaking in that rambling type of energy, in that just, all over the place energy, just do it. Right? Even if nobody wants to hear it, just do it. Okay? So again, oppression, we have or ob. It says before, near, across, down, in the direction of, in front, before, towards, to, upon, in a way of, with regard to, because of, near, against. Okay, so again, oh my goodness. So yes, oh my goodness. So this is just even matches then, right? Because I told you this is the energy that's been around. I mean, like on top, neighborhood, ley lines, right? As above, so below. That energy. And it's like almost sometimes I feel like even just for me fighting for my right to be me, it's almost like it's so strange. Like the community is fighting against me and others that are exalted. I mean, others that are elect or chosen, so called. It's almost like our families first, right? Or and if you're not like against, then you're all you're if it doesn't feel like they're against you, they're not supportive. So, you know, I know they see us, some of them, and friends, right? But many will question your loyalty when you're sticking your neck out as that person, that beacon of light in the family for them and your children, even though they're not asked for it. It's not up to you and me and us to choose. This is just, it was already chosen. The path laid out. And some of us, again, with this generational curses, some of us are breaking those curses. Some of us have already broken them. We should be celebrated. We should be, looking at each other in a certain light, a loving way, manner. Um, we should be shaking. We should not have to fight for that as well, right? But that's not just the way it's going to be. Yeah, obligation. Here, what else? Before aspired vow, a walking about stubborn. Uh-oh. I guess that's that bull. Oh, fat. Exceedingly fat. Obese. I mean, it's not funny, but what I'm saying. Okay. Because remember they used to say fat was rich, or that's how you knew somebody was like a royal or something sometimes, because they were, or a, you know can't really, wealthy or rich, we'll just say that. Okay. Carry out the command of. So again, there's just been this, like I said, to darken, to obscure, to confuse, bewilder. See, again, there's that energy. There it is. But then again, register of death, right? So it's almost like that dust you shall return, right? And it's just like, did what happened, right? Because that's just making me think that that's that energy. Okay, I lifted you, but dust you will become if you don't do this. But then there's chaos around this, so there's no choice really can be made. The safest thing is just to again choose self and retreat, or the smartest thing at that moment. So let's read some of these cards. Okay, tangible thing. Again, a lot of these storylines have to do with this Esther entity being and there was one story I think with the Vampire Diaries where there was a affair between this one Tatiana, something like this, and this girl named Esther, and I don't know, it was just this whole thing about, I don't know. And like I said, we're not actually saying, are we, that we're talking about vampires. We're just saying that type of energy, right? That would be surrounding families during this type of warfare. Okay. All right. So again, we have card number 6, which is shock of the new. Okay. So again, it's almost like an invasion energy again going on. But again, it feels like it's like there's also like for the first time I feel like, the energy of source saying like I wish you would, right? So at the same time can I even say it's source? Or is it the ancestors? And maybe that's why I've been feeling like they haven't been, you know, there the same way. It's like there, but just like hold on real quick. That stepping away for a second real quick. It's a shame. We can't just talk clearly. And that's what makes me stumble sometimes because I'm trying to figure out the best way, an elaborate way to just give a message. You got to go through that. Okay. So again, we have card number 44, which is vision of life beyond death. Okay. And it's so funny. She has this peacock over her head and a crow, right? And then this barn, I think it's a barn white owl. Um, and then she has like a skull on her third eye, well, in that area. And it says vision of life beyond death. I don't know. These are, and that's what I'm saying. Is that what again I've been having for the past week or so before this? And today there was like something that was just like so beautiful, like in a sense of Adam and Eve, and or the man and the male and female, and then he called them Adam. But then also on the other side, then that whole scripture about taking from the dirt and the slime or the dirt and whatever other residue in order to form a man and put them in the east of the garden. Excuse me. 28, collaborative dreaming. Okay, that really struck me today. 4 is against the grain. 15, big, bold vision. And honey, today, I mean, it wasn't even that emotional. It was all like, all right, cool, cool. I got you. All right. Like that. But also like I can't I had to, you know, self. That big bold vision as I can't be I you this I can't be stopped. I came to claim. I came I didn't and that's another thing I feel like some of us didn't come to fit into this world. We came here to create anew or be a part of the creation of anew. In this new, we should be having hands on, firsthand. If we are in the garden to do the work, we should be able to have the same input and information as everyone else. But you know, when it comes to those that are chosen, there's an oppressive energy and a copycat energy and an idolatal energy, if that's even a word. If it's not, we're going to use it anyway. That's my thing. But you know, it's that everybody want to know what it is though. Everybody's all eyes on you, energy. Okay, now don't be sitting here acting like y'all don't know what I'm saying. So again, there's a bit of energy like, hey, don't tell your next move, but hell, for me, it seemed like something has been open where everybody can see my next move and my every move any damn way. So what is it? I might as well have at least where some people that may be coming that may care can see my part of it, even if it's only the one person that keeps showing up, right? Restore and replenish. I do apologize, y'all, for the sniffling. All right, and she's like in a cocoon type of. I really wish I could show y'all the cards. It's bothering me. Follow your own rhythm. Exactly. 21, beyond the mind, the heart beats. Look here. And this is the one that has the actual image of the back of the card that I showed y'all the one day about how beautiful these cards. You know what? These are my favorite. You understand? The details, the mat, it made me want to listen. Oh, I apologize. 21. Beyond, and that 21 keeps coming up. The 21st. Okay, it's saying this is card 21, but the 21st of the month. Last month, and for some reason this month is speaking. So it says beyond the mind, the heart beats. And this is the key right here. I'm gonna add the image of that. That's the key. That's the key. For me. Again, that was the little miniature healing. Energy that I withheld today. And I'll just say one thing. It's kind of sad because it's almost like somebody is dangling